have reached a point where it's too steep. I keep sliding down and I think it's not safe anymore. Salam from Kazakhstan. Welcome to another episode of Hiking with QS. And today we are in Kazakhstan, Almaty. And I'm gonna do a very difficult hike today. I'm not sure how difficult it is. It's called the 4 Peaks hike at Shymbulak. Shymbulak is a skiing area in Almaty, and this is the cable car station. A cable car can actually take you up to the Medeu station, and from there it's a 1.5 hours hike up to the Shymbulak peak. But I'm going to do the 4 peaks, so I will start from somewhere at the valley here. We are gonna do Furmanov peak, Panorama peak, Bashuta peak, and finally Shymbulak peak before we take the cable car down. The ice seems to have melted already in April and it's springtime. The peaks I'm doing today are all 3,000ers. It's all very high. And this is my starting point. It says student trail. Not sure what's the name about. Maybe students come here. And from here, I think it's about 10 kilometers, 900 meter elevation all the way to the Furmanov swing. We're gonna go up this road for a little bit. Buses looks like they are quite frequent over here. Bus 12 is about 200 tenge. I came here this morning by taxi, and the taxi pretty much only costs less than $8 USD, so it's very affordable here in terms of transport. I guess because Kazakhstan has their own natural resources, especially fuel. This is April. Temperature is roughly about 10 degrees right now. Very comfortable for a hike. At some point I'll be taking my jacket off as I heat up my body. It looks like student trail is not the trail that I'm going. It leads to some other place in the area. I don't really have a map of that, so I'm gonna play safe and go to the area where I'm more familiar with on the map. I just passed by a post over here, and you do have to pay a little bit of money to be able to cross. I paid 600 tenge. It says 589.8 tenge for entry. The transport here from the city by taxi is 3,400 tenge. It's about 4,000 tenge to be able to come into the trail of Shymbulak. I am somewhere halfway on the road up to the starting point. They call it beginning of the way, Medeu. 3.37 km elevation, 680 meters. It says the difficulty is easy. We'll see. Kazakhstan used to be part of the Soviet Union. They do actually speak Russian over here, even though the locals tell me they're gonna try to move away and speak Kazakh. We have been trying to navigate the area in the city using Russian because most of the menus, the words and the signs are all in Russian. But I can see the locals in the suburb areas, they do prefer to use Kazakh when they speak to each other. It's very quiet on this trail so far. I see there's a pony up ahead. In the outskirts of Kazakhstan, they still do a little bit of farming, and they do live in yurts like this one. Yesterday, I was sleeping in a yurt when I signed up for a 2-day, 1-night tour to visit some of the attractions at Almaty, which include the Candy Lake, the Kosai Lake, where it actually snowed in April, so that was a bonus. The Charing Canyons, and also the Moon and Black Canyon. If you're coming to Kazakhstan for a holiday, I recommend doing tours like this one, so you get the time to see all of them without worrying about transport. And here's the map. We start at Medeu. We go up. There are 2 trails over here. One has a waterfall and one has a swing. And then we go up to our first stop, Furmanov peak. So this is the elevation profile. And off we go for the ascent. I'm gonna take up my hiking post from this point. I'm expecting the ascent to be quite steep, and it's gonna be a physically intense activity from here. The elevation here is 1,900 meters. I think there's definitely gonna be 1,000 meters up. The time now is 10 AM. I started at about 9:30 at the cable car station. I believe I took the route on the right that leads to the waterfall first before the swing. So let's see what's upstream. We can see some melting ice at the bottom of the stream. And up ahead, I think there are 2 people also hiking up this area. Let's catch up with them. High altitude hiking isn't easy because the amount of oxygen up here is a bit lesser than normal, so you gotta breathe harder. And this is why when you prepare for this kind of hike, it's best to climb stairs. Make sure that you're well trained for the physical intensity. I believe the waterfall might be frozen. It's a sheet of ice in the distance. I do see a swing in the distance. Now this is a swing, the actual Furmanov swing feels like it's somewhere up there. So this swing, you need 2 persons standing, and in order to make this swing from one side to the other, one has to balance and bend the knees when you come down. So it takes 2 humans to enjoy this kind of swing. Looks like this path is full of ice. I may have missed the turn. So this is where I should turn instead of go up to the swing or up there. But it was a nice view up there. Now that we are back down, it's time to go on the path. Over here it says 3.2 km, 3 hours 10 minutes to Furmanov mountain. Let's see how long that actually takes. I think it's about 11 o'clock right now. 1 hour from where we started from the 1,900 meters. So let's go. There are 2 very friendly Kazakhs. It's their first time here as well. Hello. Yes. And they told me it's their first time climbing up this mountain as well. But they did the nearby Kazakhstan for 4 times. I'm gonna climb with them a little bit. It's getting a bit muddy here because it's all ice around. We're entering very muddy and icy area. So it's gonna get a bit slippery and I'm gonna slow down a lot here. Well, up ahead is all ice, so we're gonna go step by step and make sure everything is safe. So this is like a halfway point kind of thing. We are a little bit more to go towards the swing. You can see things somewhere out there. So a little water break and then we continue pushing up. I just helped 2 Kazakhs take a picture and there's a swing over here. It looks like the whole way up it's all covered in white. I'm not very sure whether my equipment is able to bring me all the way up, but we are gonna at least try. The 4 peaks might not be safe in April because there's so much ice still melting, and melting ice is not safe unless you have the right equipment. You can see that the ice looks a bit dangerous over here. It's very smooth. I can see the track going all the way up. We're gonna push a bit more up until I reach a point where I think it's too dangerous. Then I will head back down. And right now I'm at a rest house. I think it's right before this place called Glade of Enthusiasts. Probably quite near to the Furmanov peak as well, except that there's still a lot of elevation to go. So I'm gonna take a lunch break before we continue. Look at all of the snow up here. It's fully white. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2,750 meters elevation called the Glade of Enthusiasts. So over here we are pretty near to the Furmanov peak. There's a very steep slope. I think it's gonna be very slippery on the way up. I'm gonna give it a try. If I keep sliding down, I think that's it. I'll have to figure out a way to get down. I can see an European couple trying to get their way up. They don't have hiking sticks and they're working their way step by step. It's very impressive. And this is the last ascent up to Furmanov peak. I just heard they are from Hungary, the couple, and I think his wife decided to stay behind. Husband is going up. This looks very short. Looks like maybe just 300 meters up, but the ascent is crazy. And it's all snow. We are going up 3,000 meters. Let's go. It looks like I've reached a point where it's too steep to continue. I keep sliding down and I think it's not safe anymore. It's just a little bit more to the Furmanov peak, but safety first. I've decided to turn back over here. But this is still an amazing view of the mountains behind. And this is probably about 2,800 meters up. Still a very good achievement for a hike in Kazakhstan. I hope I get down safely, so wish me luck on this one. Going down is usually way harder than going up. The way down is super crazy. I pretty much can't get my footing right and I just have to slide down most of the time. As long as you make a controlled slide and not speed up uncontrollably, it should be quite safe. Just make sure you lie on the side a little bit and use one of the legs to manage the speed of the sliding. And also make sure you're all covered because it's very easy to get abrasion from the snow. There's a lot of friction. It's 2:30 right now. I got myself back to the swing. So at this point there's a different turn to Medeu. So I'm gonna try this path and see if I can see anything new on the way down. It looks like there's a little stream here, but the whole way has been very muddy. Quite difficult in terms of coming down. I have to keep walking from left to right to be able to control my steps. I'm safe back down on the road, and so I didn't reach the peak today. A little disappointing, but always remember safety first. Very important. I think in April it's a bit hard to hike the high mountains 3000 meters because it will all be covered in snow. So unless you have very good equipment, very steady footing, I suggest coming in summer to enjoy all 4 peaks of Almaty. So if you're not into hiking but you want to enjoy the views, the Shymbulak cable car station, you can find it at Medeu. That's the area I started. Feel free to take a cable car for 6,500 tenge to reach the top. All the best to everyone. Have a good hike and stay tuned for the next episode of Hiking with QS.